Good morning, folks. Welcome back to Coffee Time with Almeida. Today we have Chef Mike Wisdom on coming from Manamet, which is a little spot inside of Plymouth. And Mike also works the Tasty. Here he is, Mike Wisdom. Come on.
What's going on, dude? How you doing? How's the quarantine treating you?
Oh, great, man. I've been spending a lot of time in the kitchen. I just touched my face.
Awesome.
It's the only time I touched my face this week, though. So
it's okay. You're at home. Like you can go wash your hands. It's okay.
Hopefully.
How
are you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. Besides you having me get up early, but actually that's a good thing. So, but no, I'm doing good.
You like my hairdo? Let's see your hairdo real quick. Yeah, all right. No haircut club. Woo!
Yeah, I'll keep the hat off, dude. We'll just go back, Yeah, I just got out of bed. What's up?
All right. So today we're going to talk about some cool stuff that you can do in your kitchen while you're hanging out during the pandemic. I think we'll start with some fermentation. If you just want to just kind of explain fermentation real briefly for us.
So there's different types of fermentation, but pretty much the one that I will touch on will be with kombucha, where you pretty much turn the sugars into alcohol. So you have a strain of yeast or the SCOBY. So that's a symbiotic colony of bacterial yeast. So the yeast turns the sugar into alcohol. So, after a while, you could pretty much make like a hard kombucha, but that's not really my goal.
So you drink kombucha every morning, right?
Yeah. So I actually have some right here that I made.
Sorry, that's one of your morning beverages, correct?
Yep. So it's this is turmeric, ginger, and pineapple. And with the turmeric, I put a bunch of black pepper too. So the curcumin is actually absorbed by your body easier with the addition of black pepper to turmeric. So if you don't use the black pepper, you kind of like missing out on some of the health properties, if you will.
Oh, yeah. You definitely turned me on to kombucha, and now I make my own kombucha.
It's delicious, and it wakes you up. It's a good amount of caffeine, but it's not like a coffee crash,
Hey, Jonathan Pogash, what's happening, man? We should definitely do some coffee soon. I think you might met the cocktail guru before.
Maybe, yeah.
Sorry for the. I just want to say what's up.
No, it's cool. I think kombucha being on cocktail menus, I think it's kind of just it's blowing up along with like the whole fermentation thing in general, So that's a good thing,
Yeah, and it gives people something new to try, and it's actually beneficial for the body. Helps with the gut bacteria.
If you're drinking a Coca-Cola, you might as well. It's kind of like having a soda to me. I used to drink a lot of soda, but I could see people trying to maybe replace it with it if they can get over the vinegary flavor.
Yeah, the kombucha that I made here, I feel like. The pineapple one that I made was like the pineapple. I think the flavor you kind of pick helps deal with the vinegar taste too, right? So
I've actually been making it with yerba mate tea and not even flavoring that. And it just kind of tastes like a nice green tea kombucha. So I've been digging that too. Yeah.
So what else you got going on over there?
I have a sourdough starter. I'm not really a baker, but I have all the time in the world right now. So this is my probably third go at a sourdough starter. So I have that going right there.
No, you started the starter yourself.
Yep. So this is 5 days old. And I started with whole wheat flour and water. All
right. Awesome.
But yeah, so I have that going. I made a loaf of sourdough last week. It came out pretty good, but I always want to get better at stuff, so I have a few notes, and I'm going to give it another go. And then I have a jar of sauerkraut right here. Yeah, this is not kombucha. I have a jar of sauerkraut right here. And this will be hopefully fermented in the next week and jarred up and will be available through the Garden of Easton's delivery service. So that's
right. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, can you walk us through how you make that real quick?
So this is literally, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to make that, I'm kind of scared, this and that. It's cabbage, salt, and caraway seeds, and you put it in a jar. You just got to make sure that it is covered and submerged in the brine. So, sometimes you have to add a little bit of water, But if you add enough salt and you massage the cabbage, the water content should come out. It should cover the cabbage. And yeah, you just throw it in a jar, and I let it go until it's to my liking. I just kind of taste it after a week or so.
Mm.
And a lot of people seem off put by just trying to do things like this. They think it's going to be hard, but I mean, even the sourdough starter, it's flour and water.
Yeah, just gotta like set it and forget it, right?
You have those things in your house,
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all these videos, chefs like posting, this is what I have in my pantry. Let's make something simple. And it's like, these fancy vanilla beans and a chili paste that nobody has. And, it's pretty much a video. And I'm like, dude, nobody has that in the freaking pantry, but everybody has flour. Some people might have cabbage, but you definitely have salt, and salt, you can ferment anything with salt. So
I just pause for a second. Nicole from Westport says Mike just said he massaged the cabbage.
Yes, I did. I massaged it, and then I let it sit for about an hour and a half just to enjoy the after effects of the massage.
So let's talk about tepeche.
Oh, okay, yeah. So when I use the pineapple for the kombucha, everybody throws away the skins and maybe the core to the pineapple. I feel like everybody just tosses those in the trash, So there's a Mexican fermented drink called tepache, and it's like a pineapple soda, slightly alcoholic actually. So you take your organic pineapple scraps, the rinds. I use the core as well, and then you ferment that with water and a little bit of brown sugar, or there's a Mexican sugar too, but you can just use brown sugar. And yeah, about 4 days later, you have a probiotic, bubbly pineapple drink. I put chili peppers in it, again with the turmeric or black pepper, a little bit of cinnamon. You can put whatever you want in it, but it's delicious, and it's a byproduct almost.
And that's we get back to using everything that we have when it comes to you're not throwing it out. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Yeah, and like that's such a cool thing.
Especially in times like this. And I feel like you're going out and you're spending all your money on 2-3 weeks worth of food or something. You don't want to throw anything out. And I think more people hopefully will be thinking that way maybe after this, especially restaurants in general.
Yes. So, the tasty, I usually make an oleosaccharum, which you've seen me make the oleosaccharum before. And we're just using, we're taking the peels from our citrus that we're squeezing for, service, and we're soaking them in sugar, which brings out the oil out of the peel. And then we're using that in a simple syrup base.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And I think that, I've definitely used pineapple parts, or because we slice the pineapple up, the same idea, and mixing them with all the citrus peels, then throwing some sugar on it, and then all of a sudden you have this really delicious syrup.
No, it's great. Yeah, I feel like we do a pretty good job of that there, and I can't wait to get back to it.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like we're all gonna be like reinvigorated, like woo.
I mean, the one positive, I think I'm gonna have my birthday off, so I guess that's cool.
But we're gonna have to have a virtual little birthday party for you.
Yeah, just pretty, smoke like 32 joints.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be 32, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was 32. Andrew Tedesco, what's happening, man?
What's up, dude? Oh, he's skipping the Gary V show for us. Come on.
I know. Thank you. I saw that. I appreciate it.
What a guy.
So let's see here. You want to just walk us through making a simple dough?
Yeah. I mean, so last week I made focaccia and sourdough. My focaccia recipe, you just take a little bit of yeast, which my friend Andrew graciously bestowed upon me, so I have plenty of yeast, thank God. But you bloom your yeast with some type of sugar. I use honey, but you can use any type of sugar. So you bloom it with sugar and warm water, and you let that bloom. That's called autolyse, I believe. I'm not a baker, don't quote me on that. But so then you get the rest of your mise en place ready. So that's your things in place. So I'll have my flour, all my spices. So I'll use salt, pepper, and any seeds that I have. I love throwing all the seeds in the bread. Brent actually showed me that, so thanks, dude. But yeah, some herbs. I threw some caramelized onions in it, and you just mix all that together, and then you let that rise. I actually baked it in a half hotel pan, which usually I'll bake it in a half sheet pan at work, and I feel like it came out better at home.
Oh,
Kind of funny, yeah. So I mean, even now you do something a little different. And I'm like, cool. When I get back to the restaurant, I'm gonna make it that way.
Yeah. It's hilarious because actually Andrew's asking, does the honey act? The honey doesn't act weird, as in brewing. It acts in an adjunct with slowing the process.
No, I don't know. Honestly, I enjoy using honey over granulated sugar for a dough. I'm not really the biggest fan of bleached white sugar anyway. So if I was going to use sugar, maybe I'd try to use sugar in the raw or something. But I like making my doughs with honey. That's pretty much why. Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Jay Trenholm. What's up, man? Coffee time. Thanks for coming to watch us.
What's up, dude?
And Rodney, what's happening? Good morning, my friend. All right. So I was going to say, I mean, it's just like trial and error. Sometimes, we have the time right now, so you might mess it up. You might mess it up. I mean, I've been baking some bread. I've actually baked bagels. And the first time they came out okay. The second time they came all right. Steve Sherwin, what's up, buddy? My friend Steve Sherwin's. I haven't seen this guy.
Dude, you have so many friends.
Not really.
Well, it seems that way. So
I have friends, people that tolerate me. I mean, so Mike Wisdom and I, we work together at the Tasty, and he tolerates me.
Yes, but you tolerate me as well. So it's a give and go.
Yeah, I mean, from my standpoint as a bartender, bartending has been transformed for me since I started working with Mike Wisdom. And awesome. No, it really has. Like we go back and forth with ingredients all the time. We're always talking about technique. Like, dude, I make my own kombucha. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like, and like we're like both like I feel like scientifically minded, and we're like have a process, and we just try new stuff. And you're not afraid. The biggest thing is like you're gonna mess it up. I mean, okay. I tried to ferment some garlic a couple weeks ago. Remember, I let it go for like 2 weeks. I'm like, it's turning green. I'm like, the internet says it's fine. Then I send you a picture like that's bad.
No, yeah. Don't use that. I'm
like 2 weeks down the toilet. Let's go. I got probably a couple more, but
dude, it happens. I made a vinegar. I remember I let it go for months, and I was so excited. And I think it was like in the middle of July. Me and Ryan were just working a lot, and I strained the vinegar down the sink, dude. I didn't put a container under the strainer. I'm just running
kept
around.
All the stuff, right? You're like,
dude, and I just look at Ryan, just one tear rolling down my eye, and I'm like, all that work, it's gone.
Really down the drain.
Yeah, things get messed up. That's life.
So what's your favorite thing? I mean, about what's going on right now? I know it sucks that we're like stuck in the house and can't see our friends, but
I guess I'd have to say I can actually, like when I made the sourdough and I made the focaccia, I made some gnocchi. I spent as much time as I wanted to on it. I didn't have really anything else going on at the time. I wasn't worried about something else in the oven. I wasn't worried about I need to be ready by this time. I kind of just like was in the moment and just, went at it. And it was really nice. It was kind of like, it was almost like meditating, in the right setting. Cooking can be meditating, but,
sure.
Sometimes in a restaurant setting, it can get a little stressful. So
yeah, well, nice. I mean, I usually get to the restaurant at about 4:20 every day.
It's a great time.
Like literally, it's just how it happens. But I'm never on time. I'm always late. And, I see you guys just like really getting ready for service, and like that last hour is clutch, so
yeah,
kind of like I can imagine if you have a lot of stuff going on, you're just like, this is my passion. I have all this stuff going on. I don't want to mess any of it up, but like, I'm also like, here comes 5 o'clock.
I've definitely worked at places where people just think I'm in a bad mood, and I'm like, listen, just maybe leave me alone for that hour. Like, don't talk to me unless you need to, because we're in the middle of doing 19, 20 things.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about whatever show you watched last night. We can talk about
later.
That at 5:30.
Yeah. After we get through this little push here. But I must say you're definitely one of the most mild-mannered chefs I've ever met. So I appreciate that. Our whole staff appreciates that.
Way, so I appreciate that. It's been something I've been working on. I think the less alcohol I've consumed, I've worked more in that direction with the less drinking. It's kind of correlated, if you will.
Yeah, and like you're basically don't drink at all, right?
Yeah, not really. I tried getting drunk twice during this whole thing, and I don't know, it didn't really happen. I got drunk for like a half hour, and then I just didn't feel good. So
It's so weird because, I was saying I can make some drinks here and I make drinks for Sarah and stuff. And then, I'll have a drink, but more lately, last couple of weeks, I have like a drink and then, and I'm like kind of toast for a while, and I'm just
yeah,
like,
it
oh
just
my
makes you
God, I
tired,
can't do
dude.
anything. But if I'm at the restaurant and I'm like running around like a maniac, it's probably a different story. But,
Yeah,
I
well, all
mean,
your adrenaline's going at the restaurant.
yeah.
You don't really realize how tired you are until you sit down.
Mm.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, and I think for me, I definitely like it. I really like making drinks, and I like working with all kinds of different ingredients, and
Yeah,
like getting people to be like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" Like I really enjoy that part of it, but the actually drinking part of it is less appealing to me now.
it's funny though.
It's weird. Yeah,
It's a moneymaker though, so it's tough. It's like like you kind of gotta. I mean, if I were to open my own place right now, it might have alcohol because you know what, it makes money. You know
yeah, and like people enjoy it, and it's a social
exactly,
lubricant.
exactly. Yeah,
So what are you looking for? Wait, actually, so let's stop here.
yeah.
You finish Ozark?
So I finished like the first season and a half a while back, and then my girlfriend hadn't watched it. Excuse me. So they were coming out with the season 3, so I figured we would just restart it.
Yeah.
So we're like almost through season 1 right now.
All right. Yeah, I just finished it last night. It's definitely
It's
it's
a
really
good
good.
show. Yeah.
Shout out to Kenny Sakeman. What's happening? Second wind in the house.
Kenny, what's up?
He has a bomb ass strawberry key lime sour headed your way soon, dude. I like that. I would drink that.
You said strawberry key lime, right?
Yeah, strawberry key lime
Okay.
sour.
I thought you said kiwi. I'm like, I'm actually allergic to kiwi. So, but thank you, Kenny. I'm excited.
Yeah, so second win is right down the street from us, and literally it's like less than a block away. It's pretty awesome to have a little brewery down. Look good. And those guys are killing it.
Great guys, great beer.
Very passionate fellas. Very passionate fellas. I knew them way back when, before they had a brewery.
Now they're big time. They got 2 breweries.
I know. Oh man. So let's see here. Podcast, the Gary V experience, and Bucha Box. Tell us a little bit about Bucha Box.
Bucha Box, it's a small podcast, but it's pretty much this kid. He goes around to different kombucha breweries around the country, or actually around the world. He went to, one in Mexico, one up in Canada, and he'll just talk to the brewers and the owners and whatnot. I don't know. I kind of stumbled upon it randomly, but it's kind of interesting to get insight into how different people are doing different things in different parts of the world. Like the guy in Mexico, he was making a bunch of spicy kombuchas. So that was really interesting to me. And then, out in California, one lady was doing like a mermaid kombucha or something with some kind of algae, kind of trendy, but cool. It's just cool to see all the different perspectives,
Cool. And so you got me to get the big book of kombucha.
Yeah, it's a great resource to have. Yeah.
And I definitely learned some cool stuff in there, and I literally followed the directions and I made kombucha.
It's funny because the first time I made it, I'm like, why am I paying $5 a bottle for this when you're just making sweet tea and just waiting?
Well, that's the thing. It was like I was spending like $30 a week on kombucha.
And, at first you're like, this is worth it because I feel great and probiotics and blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is, you only have so much disposable income. So,
Yeah, and it's just like $120 a month on kombucha. I might as well be smoking cigarettes. I mean, not really, but
yeah, yes and no, but
so like just make it yourself, and like right now,
exactly.
I mean, we're all tight on money, I mean, I think
especially right now.
Yeah, we're like, oh man, I really wish I had some kombucha, but I can't afford it. But just make it yourself, just a little bit of time, and before you know it, the kombucha's ready. A week has gone by.
Exactly.
So we're gonna put up. We have some links up here, and we're gonna put up probably some more links. Maybe we can get a little recipe up there too from you.
Yeah.
Onto the website. Let's see here. We're not done yet, buddy. So what are you doing in your spare time, my friend?
I've been playing a little bit of Nintendo Switch. I've been reading, tossing the baseball around, coloring, drawing, guitar, a lot of push-ups, you know, a ton of push-ups, a lot of push-ups. Just trying to keep busy, man. But also, I feel like it's really important. Like everybody's dealing with this different, and I think everybody needs to realize that. But I don't think you need to like. Not everybody's gonna come out of this with like a new side hustle or oh my god, I'm like a new person. You know, you can just hang out too. You know, I
Yeah.
have where I'm like I'm not really doing much today. But I think it's important that everybody knows that it's not. You don't have to be like doing something every second of the day either. You know,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
definitely good to keep your mind going.
and definitely some time to decompress. I mean, it's good, and I
Yeah.
know that like it's hard to decompress when you're worried about financial stuff, you
Oh,
know.
totally. Yeah.
And I don't know any advice that I can give. Like, I lived in New York and Los Angeles and was a broke ass most of the time.
Yeah.
So
I feel
and
like we're
then
kind of used to it. So it's like, I've
yeah,
been here. But
yeah. And then
it is what it is.
I got married and my wife got my shit together pretty much. I mean, I'd probably still be living and I'd be living in a van down by the river probably otherwise.
R.I.P.
So
You still there? I'm still here. We were doing so good, dude.
oh, you back? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm
Okay, you're
back.
back. I'm back. Yeah, weird. Weird. That's weird. Hey,
Could you hear me?
something my internet I could hear you. We broke up a little bit. My internet connection is unstable, whatever that means. We're in the time
Somebody
of
was on the phone, probably.
I
Some people
haven't
might
like
get that.
I gotta somebody's calling me. My internet broke.
Right?
So just for me being like broke in the past, right? And
Yeah.
dealing with it, not like, we're just like tight on money right now. So all the stuff that we just talked about, like saving your scraps and making syrups and fermenting them and doing all this stuff, like, it just pulls your dollar way out, way up. It stretches it, and I hopefully we can remember that once we get out of this and be like, okay,
Yeah.
let's actually just try to save some money because bartenders and chefs, like, we don't save money.
No, it's you don't. It's definitely something I've been trying to work on, but it's not the easiest. I feel like people think we make a little bit more money than we do too, so that's always the thing.
Yeah, and you fall into the trap of you cook all day, and then all of a sudden you're like, "What am I going to do for dinner? I'm just going to go spend some money somewhere."
Exactly.
And now we're not doing that,
Yeah.
which and hopefully, I mean, we're going to get back to doing that at some point to support our friends and get out there and support the industry. But at the same time, like we're coming out of this with some, you know, preparedness if this ever happens again, or
Yeah.
just, let's see here. So you're from Baltimore originally? You're born in Baltimore, right?
So I was born in Norwood, but we moved to Baltimore when I was very, very young, and I was there till about 97, 98, and then we moved to Middleborough.
Nice. And then how did you decide you're like, oh, I want to be a chef?
So my dad was a chef, and then both his brothers were chefs. And I don't know, it just always was really something I was into. I was a fat little kid, so I really liked food. Uh, but yeah, they pretty much told me not to do it, and I wasn't gonna have a life, and I did it anyway. I wanted to go to BP for culinary, so it's a tech school, a tech high school. So I went there and I took culinary, and yeah, I've been cooking for 16 years.
Well, that's awesome, man. It's like half your life, dude.
That's like half my
Literally,
life, man.
literally.
Yeah.
Hey, so just tell us a little bit about what you do with the Tasty.
What I do at the Tasties. So Ryan gets paid to hang out with me and make sure I don't hurt myself. But yeah, we go in and we kind of, Mike will go to the market and grab whatever we're getting, or Tim will bring in whatever we're getting from Skinny Dip or the farms or Plato's Harvest. And we'll pretty much base a menu off of what we have and what's in season from the farmers, and what proteins we've ordered from, say, Revival Farms or the Lobster Trap, or anybody else. And yeah, we have our core menu items, the wings and the nori fries and stuff. But yeah, it's fun to kind of switch it up. Uh, Once we're out of something, we make more of something else.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's definitely. I feel like we've gotten to the point where we'll make enough of something, and we can run it a few times, and kind of somebody can come back and still order that, and that's tough because I feel like before, somebody might come back for a certain dish, and it might never be on the menu again. Honestly,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
mean, that's when you're seasonally, and like the menu is literally changing every single night.
Yeah, like
The
there's
menu
dishes
gets
that I've made once, and they might not ever get made again.
because it might just the product might not be available.
I don't even remember what I made. Half the things I made, I'm like, I think that might have been good.
So I mean, you'll have a protein on, so you'll have a Statler cut of a chicken. On the weekends you'll have some duck breast on there. We got this
Yeah.
really awesome fish from Ideal Fishery in Connecticut. And just speaking about that for 2 seconds.
So they're the only BAP certified branzino in the country. So they have most branzino. It's a fish that's brought in from overseas. It's a sea bass. It's a type of sea bass, and so this is from America. It's in Connecticut, and they have their own aquaculture system. So pretty much they have, in layman's terms, is there's worms, and then they use the worm poop to pretty much fertilize and feed the fish, and then that filters out, and then they use the fish poop, and it all gets filtered and used. I'm sure that I'm not explaining it correctly.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's like a self-sustainable way of producing those fish, and they get shipped to us overnight, and they're beautiful fish. They come in whole. Ryan spends so much time breaking them down, but they're so nice, and the people that are raising the fish are just awesome as well too.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that happening and have access to that stuff, and get it out there. And I mean, it's probably my favorite fish and chips I've ever had in my life. So
I agree, like hands down. And I told Ryan that, and I'll tell him that every time I eat it. I'm like, dude, this is, I've paid more for fish and chips that I hated.
Yeah, it's so funny because at the end of the night, when I see it on the menu is still available, I'm like, oh man, French fries and fried. I'm like, let's get it.
I wasn't gonna do it, but I mean, it's there. So.
But it's available, and they don't want to stab me in the throat right now, so I'm gonna get that.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And who knows? I get laid off for 3 months, so get it while you can.
All right, dude. Well, I guess I'm gonna let you go, and
Awesome.
you can follow you on Mike Wisdom on Instagram, Wisdom Ferments on Instagram. We have some links up on our website. It's disruptamerica.tv/coffee time. Find Mike Wisdom on there. We're gonna be socializing this on the internets, so you can watch it again. And
on the MySpace.
Yeah, and on the MySpace. Can we stream live to MySpace? Do they do that?
We can figure it out.
Mike Dubik, do they do that? Anyways, all right, dude. Well, awesome, man. I'll catch up with you later on. It's probably some point in the next text later on today.
Sounds good, dude. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Awesome. Great to see you, man.
Later.
See ya. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in to us today at Coffee Time with Almeida. I'm going to leave you with a little clip here from our friend Josh Bell, comedic genius. Here you go, Josh Bell, my buddy.
Do random crazy people ever walk up to you? If so, and you feel things aren't escalating quickly enough, simply ask the crazy person to step away.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down, okay? Back away!
If that doesn't work, try screaming no at the top of your lungs.
No! No!
By now, you should have a genuine problem on your hands.
Help!
Coffee time with Almeida. Every weekday night. Won't you join me for a really fun time?